This is our chance to distract it. These are all wars now.
A few years ago, on a remote island called Leeson Hubert in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, there stood a secret laboratory owned by a private company. Hidden from the world, scientists there conducted illegal genetic experiments to create new species of dinosaurs. The entire facility was heavily guarded, and no outsider knew what was really happening inside. But one small mistake changed everything. A hungry employee carelessly threw away his food wrapper, not realizing that the plastic was blown by the wind and got stuck in the lab's security system. Moments later, alarms blared loudly signaling a malfunction in the main security door. Panic broke out. Everyone ran to find safety. Unfortunately for the careless worker, the automatic door sealed shut, trapping him inside the experiment room. From behind the misty cooling chamber, a monstrous creature appeared, the result of their experiment, Distortus Rex, or simply D-Rex. Within seconds, the beast lunged at him. 35 years later, the world had changed completely. After the events of the previous Jurassic incident, many dinosaurs were released from Jurassic World and now roam freely in the wild. Scientists discovered that most of them preferred to live in tropical regions. Meanwhile, in New York, a pharmaceutical executive named Martin had a grand ambition to develop a heart disease cure that could save millions of lives. To make it happen, he recruited Zora, a former military agent known for her bravery and precision. Martin then took her to a nearly abandoned dinosaur museum to meet Henry, a genetic expert. Henry explained that to create the medicine, they needed blood samples from 3 massive dinosaurs, Mosasaurus, Titanosaurus, and Quetzalcoatlus. Joining the mission were Henry himself, Duncan, Bobby, a weapons security expert, and 2 ship crew members, Nina and Greg. Aboard the ship, Martin revealed that his company had once implanted a tracking device inside a Mosasaurus, which made it easy to locate the creature near Leeson Hubert Island. While they sailed, far away, a small family, Ruben with his daughters Bella and Teresa, along with Teresa's boyfriend, Xavier, were enjoying a vacation in the Atlantic. Unknowingly, their boat drifted into dangerous waters where prehistoric sea creatures lurked. Suddenly, something massive struck their boat, flipping it over. Ruben desperately helped his family escape. They survived but were left stranded in the open sea. Meanwhile, Zora's ship picked up their distress signal. Although Martin refused to help, fearing it would delay their mission, Captain Duncan decided to rescue them anyway. After being saved, Ruben explained that they were attacked by a giant sea creature. Zora immediately realized it was their first target, Mosasaurus. When the colossal creature emerged from the water, a fierce battle erupted. Zora managed to shoot a special dart that extracted blood from the Mosasaurus. They successfully secured the first sample, but chaos ensued when a group of Spinosaurus attacked the ship, leaving everyone shipwrecked on the Forbidden Island, where humanity's darkest experiments awaited discovery. That night, Xavier went to relieve himself in the bushes. But from the darkness, a velociraptor appeared, ready to strike. Just before it attacked, a mutated dinosaur called Mutadon burst out and devoured the raptor instead. The next morning, Zora and her team continued their journey. They stood in awe as 2 gigantic titanosaurs towered before them. Henry, mesmerized, approached to touch the creature's skin, but Zora quickly fired a blood extraction dart to collect the sample. Teresa crossed the river first. On the other side, she discovered a sleeping T-Rex. She tried to quietly grab a nearby boat, but it was broken. Luckily, she found a box containing an inflatable raft. Carefully, she pulled it away from the sleeping beast. As she inflated the raft, the T-Rex suddenly woke up and walked toward the river to drink. When the moment was right, Teresa called the others to hurry aboard. But the engine noise and splashing water alerted the creature, and it began chasing them. In a panic, their raft flipped over, and everyone was thrown into the fast-flowing river. The T-Rex chased them from behind, but they found a narrow gap between rocks that the massive beast couldn't enter. Finally, they escaped and continued downstream. Meanwhile, Zora, Henry, and Greg climbed down a hill toward the nest of Quetzalcoatlus hidden among the ruins of an ancient temple. Martin and Duncan stayed above the cliffs to keep watch. Since it was too risky to draw blood directly, they decided to collect fluid from the creature's eggs instead. But suddenly, Quetzalcoatlus returned. Panicking, Zora and Henry abandoned the sample and ran. Greg tried to distract the creature but was caught and killed. Terrified, Martin and Duncan found an underground passage and quickly hid inside. Elsewhere, Reuben and his family reached the laboratory they had been searching for. They entered to find a working radio. Soon after, Zora and her team arrived and finally reunited with them. A heated argument broke out between Teresa and Martin. Zora demanded an explanation, but instead, Martin pulled a gun on them and took the case containing all the samples. That night, when the lab lights automatically turned on, a pack of mutadons attacked. Everyone scattered in panic. A massive T-Rex appeared, destroying the rescue helicopter. Zora and the others fled through the water tunnels toward the dock. They lost Martin, who was eaten by the T-Rex, but managed to save the case. With Reuben's help, they restarted the ship's engine and escaped the island.